Welcome to part 2 of the insurance videos for your notes. Again, you are encouraged to pause these videos so that way you can get all these things written down and you can replay them however often you need to. So disability insurance is the next one that we are going to talk about here, and it's not an insurance for people with disabilities. Rather, it's actually a just-in-case insurance that will cover you in the case of a medical emergency that prevents you from working. So let's say, for example, that you are hanging Christmas lights on your roof and you fall and then you break both of your legs and you're unable to, let's say you're unable to do the job that you need to for about 3 months or whatever. So if you've been paying your insurance, your disability insurance premium each month, then your disability insurance company will pay for your medical bills, and then they will also sometimes pay and often pay for like your paycheck that you're missing out on. And so they may not always pay the entire percentage. It's totally dependent on what type of insurance plan that you get. But let's say that you're out of work for 3 months and maybe you were making $10,000 per month, and that's like $30,000 over the course of 3 months. What would happen is maybe they pay 80% of that. So instead of $10,000 a month that you would be making, you'd instead make $8,000 a month for those 3 months that you were laid up, and that's just kind of what they do is a certain percentage. Usually, you can get 100% disability insurance. It costs more. It's more, but anyway, that's kind of how that works there. Next one is life insurance. This means that if you pass away, your family or beneficiaries are going to be compensated. And so most of the time, people will buy what's called term life insurance, right? So it's basically kind of a bet with the insurance company that I bet that, they're betting, okay, how realistic is it that this person is going to die in the next 20 years or the next 30 years, depending on what type of term that you get, right? So if you get a 20-year life insurance policy and you are 20 years old, typically your premiums will be very, very small, right? And that's kind of the idea behind life insurance, is that it's just in case you pass away that your family will be covered. All right. And so what you want to be able to do is give your family 10 years worth of 10 years worth of the lost income that they would have if you were to pass away. So if you make $100,000 per year, you want to set up a life insurance policy that is worth $1 million. All right. And so just make that kind of a note. That's kind of what is recommended. And so anyway, the earlier that you buy this, the less expensive it is going to be. The Because the younger you are, typically the less likely you are to die. All right. The other things that will come into consideration is they'll look at your general health. Are you a smoker? Are you not a smoker? It's kind of the number one question that they have. They also want to know about other family, issues or pre-existing conditions that you might have, and so all of those play a factor into your life insurance premium and cost. All right. What do you think beneficiary means? So beneficiary is someone who receives something after you die. All right, someone who receives something after you die, and that's what we're kind of looking at there. Okay. Traveler's insurance. In the event you cannot go on a vacation that you have planned, this will either reimburse or hold the money that you have spent. All right. So certain situations might uh, require you to cancel a vacation or cancel a flight. A family member passes away, or someone gets really sick, or you take a new job and you need to move, or something like that. Just there's a whole bunch of different reasons why you might want traveler's insurance. Typically, it costs around 10% of the trip itself. So if the trip costs $10,000, the traveler's insurance may cost like 1,000. It'll cost 10% or less than the trip. So that's kind of how we look at that. And you don't want traveler's insurance for, like, let's say, for example, that, 2 weekends from now, you're planning to go with your family to Minneapolis from Detroit Lakes. All right. It does not make sense for you to get traveler's insurance on a hotel, all right, or something like that, because it's not a very expensive trip and something like that. Now, if you are going in a more expensive family trip, then it does make sense, right? Because if there are several people going, that kind of throws a wrench into things, because if one person is unable to go, that kind of makes it a bummer, right? And so anyway, so just something to think about. All right. Then I already went through these terms that you'll need to know, and that's pretty much it for today. So as always, if you have questions, send me an email. I don't think I have anything else for you today, so just make sure you get those notes done. We will do some insurance shopping in our next class. All right, y'all have a good day.